to you. This will be our fourth edition of the Cup Insider, where we're breaking down on the water segments, talking to several of the tour pros, getting their kind of inside scoop to what's going on. Daniel, it's been a fantastic day, day 2 of the Forrest Wood Cup. How do you really think the fishing's going? How do you think the tournament's going overall?
You know, what I've really seen so far out of the Red River is that it is consistently pretty good to all of our competitors so far. You know, I mean, it's not like guys are really having a problem finding the limits. I've said it once, I'll say it again, I'm going to say it probably 10 times before this is over. You got to get the big bite, and you got to get him in the boat when you get it. I mean, that's what it's going to come down to now, is execution. When that big bite comes, we got to get him in there. Execution is key.
I read an update a little bit ago during our break. Tom Mansour, we've talked about him. He was inside the top 10 after day 1. He had a few problems this morning, and I didn't catch this till after we got off in the last segment. You know, he broke off a giant. Also, early in the morning, he lost another big one. So he's still able to have well over that 10-pound mark today, but he's around the big fish, but he's having a little bit of trouble today executing on getting those big fish to the boat.
I think, you know, any pro that we interview over the next, 2 or 3 days, they're going to tell you, yeah, being around the fish is one thing, finding the fish is another thing. And sometimes there's nothing you can do. You hook the fish, and then it's not going to happen. You're not going to get him in the boat, for whatever reason it may be. But those kinds of things right there are going to definitely be heartbreakers for these guys.
$500,000 on the line. I can't imagine yanking on a rod. You think, well, I might need the net, it might not, and then you see a 4-pound boil. And the nerves got to get going. I mean, it's $500,000. Not only that, but the title to be a Forrest Wood Cup champion. We've just talked about Tom Mansour possibly losing a few. He's catching several, but we've also got a little, maybe a 12-pound mark. A 12-pound mark that people are trying to reach to make Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, an average per day of 12 pounds, is almost what you think would take to get you there. For sure what I thought it would take going into the tournament. After day 1, seeing a couple big bags, that might have shook it up just a little bit. But, probably that 12, 13-pound range is what these guys are really looking for every day.
Couple of guys coming to the scales that we know of so far with that 12-pound mark. They're not done yet, so we hope they go more. But we do know that the 3M Peltor Pro Ray Scheid put on a pretty good clinic this morning so far. He's we believe, reached the 12-pound mark. Walmart Pro Mark Rose. Here we go again. Mark Rose. Getting it done. We know he's at about on or above the 12-pound mark. We'll see several 12-pound bags, I believe, today. Yesterday, the top 10 cut at this point was 11.5 pounds.
Right.
So you hit the nail on the head. I think 12 pounds to get them fishing on Saturday and probably even into Sunday, the top 10.
I promise you, even if these guys do get the 10 to 12 range, they're going to do everything they can still. But, the good thing is you can find your smaller schools where you can get that weight, and then you can go hog hunting for the rest of the afternoon as soon as you get those in the boat, right?
The top hog hunter in this tournament, Everstart Pro Randall Tharp. We didn't hear a whole lot of them on the Twitter feeds today, but we have just got our most recent update. We know he had 18 pounds and 8 ounces yesterday, had a couple beautiful kicker fish, but we got our recent update. Tharp has now culled up to a little over 10 pounds. So quite a change from where he was at yesterday. But, reading the feeds yesterday, he really didn't get on his good spot till about 10:30, 11 o'clock. So he's probably just getting into his mess of good fish.
That could be trouble for everybody else in the field. Just to let you guys know, you've let Tharp go ahead and get his 18.8 on day 1. He's got him in the boat already. It's nothing but upgrade time for here until the check-in this afternoon for him. So.
We'll keep following these up, throughout the day. And again, every hour, at the bottom of the hour, we'll have the Cup Insider. We look to see more feeds, but it seemed yesterday the bites were fast and furious first thing in the morning. But today, it really seems it was a little bit slower in the afternoon because we're seeing several more large fish being caught in the afternoon. It's definitely exciting. We may not be up here just giving it to you with that excitement, but I tell you, I promise you, these anglers got to be jacked and pumped on the water.
And something that's really come into play this week is, when most of these fishermen arrived down here to Shreveport, you were looking at temperatures that were in the, hundreds, low 101, 102, something like that. And then, a front comes through, the next thing you know, you're looking at highs of 88, 86 throughout the day. And so I promise you, it took everything that they had really thought about and kind of mixed it up a little bit on them.
The off-pro Terry Bolton said it best just a little bit ago. There is Florida strain bass in this river. And anytime you get around Florida strain bass and you get 110-degree weather, to 85-degree weather. In fact, the water temperature dropped from 95 degrees to 85 degrees in some of these pockets. Florida string bass don't like being cold.
I heard that. Let's see, have we got any more updates as of now? Oh, other than Tharp just culling up some more fish, Let's see, we got Matt Airy. He's got his limit. It's still kind of a small one. He was tied for 10th place going into day 2 today. He does have right around the 9 or 10 pound mark. And also we do have
JT Kenny.
Yeah,
JT
there you go.
Kenny working,
First time
working
I've seen
pretty
his
close.
name today.
Yeah, he's kind of getting in the mix. He's got his limit. But we do have an on-the-water interview, on-the-water correspondent coming with us from Kyle Wood. Let's hear what he has to say.
And it seems like the main thing we're seeing is a lot of guys stuck on the main channel, and there's a lot of running and gunning going on. Seems like a lot more short fish getting caught today than at least what I saw yesterday. Then again, I was also down in Pool 4, where I spent the majority of the time way back in the backwaters, going over stump fields, stuff like that.
We see us here on the stage, but we're not able to get with our guy on the water. We will get that for us here in a minute, but we'll bring back to the stage the Keystone Light Pro, Chad Grigsby. He knows what it takes to be an FLW Touring Pro, and a lot of times what it takes is consistency.
Yeah, that's right. You have to be consistent out here. It's not a one-day event. You saw those two guys have 18. I call this, moving day. It's kind of like the same thing in golf where they consider like Friday and Saturday moving day. Well, this is where the guys actually figure out, you practice all week, but you don't really fish it hard. You don't really see the potential in your spots until like the first or second day of the tournament. Today's when they're really going to find out how good their spots really are, and they're going to really hammer them to try to make that cut because, you kind of, if you got a decent bag the first day, 11 or 12 pounds, you don't really ease off, but you don't want to hammer them so you can't catch any the next day. So you'll see, I think you see actually bigger stringers come, more consistent stringers, like more 12 or 13-pound stringers today.
It's all about making Saturday. I mean, if you don't make Saturday, the weight.
What's the sense of saving your fish if you're not going to fish for them on Saturday or Sunday? So they're going to hammer them today.
Which is obviously a strategy. I mean, you've got to manage your fish, but yet not knowing what the anglers are doing out of the water, you got to have enough weight to make it to Saturday.
Well, yeah, I think Randall and Brian kind of surprised a lot of people and probably a lot of other anglers that are in the tournament with that 18-pound stringer because I'm sure, Nixon had 13 pounds. He probably thought he was going to be, way up there and not have 5 or 6 pound deficit. But, they caught him yesterday and they caught some good ones. And I think today it'll even out if Larry can catch another 13-pound stringer or my buddy JT, if he is consistent and maybe can catch 12 or 13, he's going to move up. He's going to keep moving up that board like Andy Morgan and him are tied. And they're going to be moving up, and I think Andy's got them pretty good today. So,
we were just going to talk about that. That's a good topic to bring up. The Kellogg's Angler of the Year is none other than Andy Morgan, sitting in 13th place after day 1 with 11 pounds and 2 ounces. He's had a fantastic year. An amazing career. He had 3 top 10s this year. Just go over a few stats: 55 career top 10s with FLW and 16 Forrest Wood Cup appearances.
Yeah, he's the man, and everybody knows it out here. Everyone shoots for Andy, and he's such a good guy. Everyone loves him out here, but he's a real fierce competitor. But he's just Mr. Consistency. I'm surprised this is his first Angler of the Year title because he's been right there in the top 5 every year ever since I started fishing 10 years ago or whatever. And he's just the man to beat, and everyone knows it. And it's real hard to win one of these. And he finally got an Angler of the Year, and I'd look out because he's on a little bit of a roll, 3 top 10s out of 6 tournaments. He may be one of the guys that's going to be right on top at the end of the day.
It's kind of his backyard, if you will. It's not Tennessee. But what he likes to do, this sets up perfect for him. Andy Morgan, known as a shallow water fisherman.
Yeah, and that's what he loves to do. He's a flipper, and he's real comfortable with that, and that's what his top 10s were is shallow water flipping, and he's real comfortable at Grand Lake. He finished second or whatever, and he flipped the whole time, and that's just what he's comfortable doing, and I look for him to have a good day today, and he'll make it through the weekend.
We hope to see him on Saturday. Obviously, on Sunday, again, Andy Morgan, Evinrude Pro, 13th place with 11 pounds, 2 ounces on day 1. We're going to get to see what he has today on the day 2 weigh-in on FLW Live. Here we are again, the Cup Insider. Come see us next hour at the bottom of the hour for your latest updates.